Hey guys, it's your time for the next weekly Bitcoin analysis video and what I think Bitcoin is going to do for this week. Before we get to Bitcoin, I want to talk about the S&P 500. As most of you probably know, Bitcoin likes to copycat what the S&P 500 has been doing. S&P 500 has been in a pretty bad downturn for quite a while since January. Just like what Biddy's been doing. Biddy's been looking pretty bad since January. So when it comes to why we want to look at the S&P 500, it helps give us an idea of what could potentially happen in the future. I have been waiting for this moment for a long time. It almost happened back here in February. We had a little bit of an accumulation. But we didn't really do anything after it, and we came back down. And if you look over at Bitcoin, we'll take a look at what Bitcoin was doing in February, and then when this pump happened back in towards through March, right? We'll get there. But first, let's look at what S&P 500 is setting up an accumulation. What an accumulation is weak hands are dumping because weak hands are scared, and smart money is grabbing all of that spot up. It's not really about longing or shorting. It's not about futures. It's about spot bags. We're seeing a lot of spot bags building up right now from market makers / institutions. And so that is why I feel pretty strongly that we are accumulating. I drew this last night before S&P 500 opened. I know it's easy to say that in hindsight. It's easy to say that after, because I could have just moved this back here. But I swear I did. I swear I did. If you frequent any of the Discord servers I'm on, you may have seen this. But either way, I expect us to come back up here to test this level, probably today or tomorrow, and then have another rough little day back down. Now, why does this matter for Bitcoin? Because when S&P 500 dumps, Bitcoin dumps. When S&P 500 pumps, it doesn't necessarily copy. Sometimes Biddy just does a ranging kind of a thing when S&P 500 pumps. Because right now, this current 4-hour candle on S&P 500 looks a lot different than the 4-hour candle on Bitcoin. As you can see, Bitcoin is just kind of not really doing anything too crazy. I got to stop using this chart. Come on, man. Use this chart. Oh, this is my macro. Hold on. This is the chart I do for these videos. Jeez. You can kind of see how very different looking 4-hour candles, yet everyone tells you Bitcoin follows S&P 500. It's true, but not true. So when we're talking about accumulation with Bitcoin, it works a little bit differently than S&P 500. Institutions and New York stockbrokers, stock exchanges, American money, not all that big into Bitcoin just yet because it hasn't been regulated. Once it's regulated by the IRS, that's when those big time institutions can come in. And there's differing opinions on that. A lot of people are thinking that's a great thing. A lot of people are thinking that's not a great thing. A great thing because if institutions in New York are on, they know how to really push price. So when they actually accumulate, they're going to pump us to new all-time highs, new levels we've never seen. The crypto market cap will moon and all the good things. But if you want to take a slightly more pessimistic look at it, right now people get liquidated and messed up on regular markets all the time because institutions know how to screw retail. So once institutions get into Bitcoin, I keep clicking on the wrong chart. Once institutions get into Bitcoin, they're going to know how to screw retail here too. So a lot of people are going to get screwed when that happens. But if you're smart and and you pay attention to this channel, you should be fine. But a lot of people are going to get wrecked. Either way, US 500, S&P 500, SPX, whatever you want to call it, is accumulating. In my opinion, it is accumulating. I want to see us come up pretty close to here. If I was to, you may even come right up to that line, honestly. Probably not. We probably hit there's a little bit of a, my magnet mode. Get out of here, magnet mode. Yeah, we'll probably go to right about there, which is 40.74, and then turn back down. We may break this low, and it may look, get a different, I don't know, can I change the color? Well, no, I gotta draw it first. Fine. We may get something like this instead, and then people around this point right here are going to be freaking out because they think we're going to make a new low and then pump. That is a very, very classic common pattern that you'll see, especially on assets that follow a little bit more market structure than Bitcoin, because this right here is a super scary move because it looks like this downtrend is continuing, right? It'll look like this downtrend is continuing. And whoops. That was terrible. Well, you get the better general idea. And the whole goal of accumulation is to scare retail out so that the smart money can come in and grab all that spot, and then they pump the price by doing so. So if that happens, Bitcoin is going to be very good. Your alt market is going to be very, very good. And a lot of your alts are already doing very well right now. FTM is a good example of a coin that's having a pretty strong moment. I haven't actually checked Algo yet. Algo is not looking too good. Believe it or not, Luna, well, I can be able to look at it on a 14-minute or 4-hour chart. Get me out of here. Back. Yeah. Luna doing pretty well. I wanted to buy right here. I saw this pump right here. We chalked on a low time frame. So I put a buy order right here to get back in. Unfortunately, that one did not fill. So we came up here. We came here. I put a buy order around here. It did not fill. We came up here. I put a buy order here. Finally, I got in. So I did actually buy a very small spot bag of Luna at this level right here, 0.0168 or so. Obviously, it's in profit for the time being. But I will say Luna does appear to be distributing. So if we break this line, maybe come back down here, I may sell and try to enter back over here. Because right now the outlook is bullish unless we break this low here. The general outlook for Luna Classic should be bullish. Again, it does depend a lot on Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin prints a big dark red candle, Luna, all these coins are going to as well. So you got to be careful with that. So where do I think Bitcoin is going now? That is the question, isn't it? So last week, I postulated and refreshed my memory. I didn't refresh my memory, but I believed that we were accumulating. Here's our climax, selling climax. Here's our AR, and then we came down here. We had a support test. This is about when I did that video, right? Around here, I said we're going to come down here, test the low. I wasn't sure how low we were going to go, but I wanted this to be like a proper spring. So we have officially done that. We have officially had a proper spring, and we're working our way back up. The goal is to break this level here at, it's like 31.4, something like that. We want to break that level. We want to see it, retest it, and then we want to go past that high that we created when we retraced. And that should be pretty bullish. By then, S&P 500 will likely have decided what it's going to do. If by then, I expect us to be down here, or in this general area on the S&P 500, and that will be kind of like the spring, right? So there, you'll start seeing some pretty strong green candles followed by some pretty strong red candles, but it should change to an up. It should change from a downtrend to an uptrend. And then if we see that happen, Bitcoin is going to start to go pretty high, no matter what. Regardless where the S&P 500 is, Bitcoin will start to go. And if that happens, then hold on to your buckles, buckle in your seatbelts, because it's going to be really nice when that happens. Here's the caveat: in order for this to work, that switch from weak hands to strong hands has to happen. What will happen is a lot of really, really big spot orders are going to come in, not on S&P 500, but on the tech companies, Tesla, whatever, Apple, whatever. They're going to be putting in humongous spot orders, hoping that retail freaks out at this point right here, thinking they're going to lose all their money, hoping they freak out and sell. Now, if you watched my When's Your Best Time to Buy Spot video the other day, it's right here. We have our SC, we come up with an AR, we make a level, We come down, we either break that level or we don't. We come back up, we don't break this level, and then we come back down. This is where you're buying. Now, if you watched that video, this will seem very familiar to you. This is it happening live. This is it happening in reality. Here's the problem. Like I said, if retail is not freaking out and they're not selling their spot bags that they've been holding all the way up here, or their stocks, their stock assets, they're not dumping, then the smart money, they're not able to gobble it up because they can't make these big orders unless there's a lot of people selling. If that happens, this isn't going to happen. The downtrend is going to continue. We're not going to see this come up here. We're going to see it make yet another low. So we come up, we come down. It's okay to make a low here. Even if that breaks a critical level back here, don't even worry about that. As long as we don't break that low again. If we break that low again, it's bad news bears. And that's kind of what happened over here. I mean, we had a really nice pump. You can see this is the selling climax, and then you had your AR here. We kind of broke it, but didn't. We came back down here. This is your spot. This is your accumulation spot time. We came up. We had a slight little retest of the AR here. We succeeded. We could have made a little bit of money. However, we came back down, and then we broke that low. So once we broke that low, that's when this yucky ugliness happened here. So keep an eye out. It may not be exactly on the 1st of June, a couple weeks, but keep an eye out on S&P 500 if it's going to do this. I mean, it's really difficult to know unless you're really good at looking at like XO and order maps and all that good stuff to tell when strong hands are shifting to weak hands. But keep an eye on that because this is going to determine what happens with Biddy. And right now, I would say my overall outlook is good for Bitcoin and crypto in general. A lot of people out there are very bearish. Everybody thinks the world's about to end. I'm not there yet. I know I said if we break 28.38 and we close the daily under 28.8, I'll be selling all my spot. We definitely closed the daily under 28.8, as you can see right here. But then in my next video, I kind of retracted on that a little bit. And I said, listen, let's see what this does first. Because we could totally break up from here and be fine. But we're probably about to come down here and make a new low from this. I don't know if we break this wick. We totally could. This wick is not this bad on all charts, by the way. That's what, 25.5? Here it's, no, 25.341. I guess it is that bad. Yeah, see, on KuCoin, it only went down to 26.640, so that's what my brain is. But Binance, of course, Binance and your scam wicks, we could totally break this level and still be okay. It just depends on what happens after that. If we break this level, we come up and then we break it again, yeah, that's pretty bad. Same thing as with what I was showing with S&P 500. This is an accumulation. They'd still have the same. But if we come down, I don't think we're going to go that low, honestly. I'm thinking like 27, like 9, 27.5, something like that. Maybe not quite right from this candle. I actually thought we would be dumping by now today. What time is it? 12:45. So we're 3 hours into New York Open. I thought it was going to be pretty red starting today. So I'm glad I wasn't able to record earlier. But obviously it's not really doing anything right now. It's just still ranging. We go down to a smaller time frame. It's still ranging, but if you look at current PA, it's pretty bearish. We haven't broken this level. This is our AR level right here. We haven't even broken this level, and we're struggling to. And we just had this little red candle down here, which is a pretty solid sign that this is going to come down. Let me go to 4 hour now. What I expect this little down to continue all the way down to about here-ish, 27.5, something like that. And then at that point, we should get some high volatility and form an uptrend and work our way up. Maybe not quite take that long. You could probably condense that a little bit. And then we'll break that level, and then we'll retest it, and then we'll keep going. That is what I am seeing happening right now. So within a couple of weeks, we should be able to fill that CME gap at 36, which is about right here, somewhere like that. We should be able to finally fill that CME gap. Maybe not by this. I don't think we do it by this week, but maybe by the end of next week. If within the next couple days, my prediction of the S&P 500 coming up to 4,000 something, 4,000 middle 50 something like that. If that happens within the next couple days, we could see a good push up, and we may not have this bearish move down with Bitcoin. We could go ahead and go right out. You don't have to have a spring for an accumulation. I like to see a spring. We're actually in a spring on the bigger picture, the daily. If you really back it out, this is what I was calling for, is to have a proper spring down here. Just like I said, works on all time frames, guys. We have our SC, we have our AR, we have our little support test. We came up, we did break that level, but we came back down. On the retest, we did not break that high that we made there. So we came back down, so that's just a retest of the AR. Then we made a new low in our spring. If we break this low, that's pretty bearish on the overall picture, right? Even though I just said it wouldn't be for that one, but it would be for this one. So we would have to see what happens after it. I know I sound like I'm contradicting myself, but these are somewhat complicated concepts, so try to keep up. We don't want to continue this downtrend down. Let's just put it that way. If we wick below this, it's fine. It's a matter of whether we close under it. That's the word I'm trying to say. So keep that in mind. Keep that in the back of your head. I think overall this is going to be a good week. I think we're going to probably come down here, but I do think we're going to come up and test this AR, and then go through. And I hope it happens this week. I said last week that I thought by the end of this week we should be out of this little accumulation. I don't see anything that changes my mind on that yet, so we'll just have to see what happens. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel already. Please leave a like and comment below. Also, we have a Discord server linked in the description below. And it's going to be an amazing time for signals if we have a bull market. So you're definitely going to want to come join us, because the signals are going to be hot to the touch. And that, my friends, is going to do it. Thank you so very much for watching. And as always, take it easy.